The weight on Lyra's chest was warm, soft, and absolutely should not have been there. She opened her eyes slowly in the pre-dawn darkness of her small apartment above the veterinary clinic, expecting to find her ancient cat, Mochi, in his usual spot. Instead, Silver eyes stared back at her eyes that belonged to a wolf pup that had absolutely no business being in her locked apartment on the 7th floor. What the... Lyra froze, her veterinarian training warring with basic self-preservation. The window was still locked from the inside. Even the air vent was too small for a mouse, let alone a pup. The pup couldn't have been more than 8 weeks old, its dark fur tipped with unusual silver markings that seemed to shimmer as if materialized from moonlight itself, a sign, had she known, of royal-seeking magic. Animals had always acted strange around her too, trusting, too calm, but this was different. This was impossible. The pup whimpered softly and nuzzled deeper into her chest, as if it belonged there. "Okay," she whispered. Windows locked, door dead-bolted, fire escape broken. Her mind raced through possibilities, each more impossible than the last. The pup yawned, revealing tiny teeth sharper than any domestic dog's should be. Carefully, Lyra reached for her phone. 4:47 a.m. She snapped a photo, the flash making the pup's fur gleam like captured starlight, then opened her clinic's group chat. "Anyone missing a wolf hybrid pup? Found one in. Unusual circumstances." The responses came quickly despite the hour. Dr. Hendricks, "Wolf hybrids are illegal in the city." Zara, "How unusual are we talking?" Dr. Hendricks, "Call animal control immediately." The pup stirred at her elevated heartbeat, making a sound that was distinctly not normal, a tiny howl that resonated through her bones. Her hand moved instinctively to comfort it, and the moment her fingers touched its fur, warmth shot up her arm. Not painful, but aware. "You're not normal, are you?" she murmured. The pup's eyes opened again, flashing gold before returning to silver. Her apartment door rattled. Not a knock, someone testing the lock. Lyra grabbed the pup, sliding out of bed. The rattling stopped, replaced by voices in the hallway. Deep, male voices speaking in a language she didn't recognize. "Scent trail ends here. The seeking worked. King Theron will want confirmation." "King?" The pup whimpered, burrowing into her neck. Without thinking, she grabbed her emergency backpack and slipped toward the window. The voices grew louder. Her doorknob turned despite the deadbolt, metal groaning. The pup let out another mini howl, and the sound seemed to accelerate whatever was happening. "Shh, baby, please," Lyra breathed, sliding the window open. The broken fire escape suddenly seemed like the better option. Her apartment door splintered inward just as she climbed out. 3 men stood silhouetted in her doorway, except their eyes caught the light like an animal's would. "There!" one shouted. She ran down the fire escape, rust flaking under her bare feet. 7 floors had never seemed so far. The pup stayed silent, pressed against her racing heart. She hit the alley running. Behind her, she heard impossible sounds, growls too deep for human throats. Lyra burst onto the main street just as the first commuter bus pulled up. She jumped on, fumbling for her transit card. As the bus pulled away, she glimpsed them through the window. 3 massive wolves standing where the men had been, their eyes tracking the bus with unsettling intelligence. The pup poked its head out and licked her chin once, claiming her. Lyra held the impossibly mysterious creature closer, one thought blazing through her mind. What have I gotten myself into? The Riverside Animal Sanctuary was 40 minutes outside the city, run by her mentor, Dr. Ilara Voss, where they handled cases too strange for normal clinics. "You look like hell," Ilara said when Lyra stumbled through the entrance at 6 a.m. The older woman's sharp eyes zeroed in on the lump against Lyra's chest. "What exactly are you carrying?" "I honestly don't know, but I think I'm in trouble." Ilara locked the door, flipping the closed sign. "Show me." Lyra carefully extracted the pup. In the bright medical lights, its silver markings formed patterns that looked almost like ancient symbols. Ilara went very still. "Where did you find this?" "On my chest. This morning, in my locked 7th floor apartment." "That's not..." Ilara reached toward the pup, then jerked back. "It's warm. The air around it is actually warm." "You feel it too?" Relief flooded through Lyra. "When I touch him, it's like recognition." Ilara finished quietly. "Lyra, tell me everything. But first..." She peered through the blinds. "Were you followed?" "I took 3 different buses, doubled back twice." Lyra had learned paranoia from her mother, though she'd never understood why. Alara, there were men. They turned into wolves. Alara's face went pale. They found you. Who? The pup stretched, looking around with those impossible silver eyes, then directly at Alara. The older woman gasped. It's a seeking pup, she whispered. Gods above, they sent a royal seeking pup. A what? They're trackers. The lunar wolves used them to find... Alara stopped. Your mother. Did she ever tell you about your father? The change of subject was jarring. She said he died before I was born. What else? Nothing. She never talked about him. Before Alara could answer, the pup let out a real howl, high and mournful. Every dog in the sanctuary answered. He's calling them, Alara said urgently. The lights went out. In the darkness, the pup's fur began to glow, actually glow. Those silver markings emanating soft moonlight. Lyra couldn't let go even if she wanted to. Don't fight it. Alara's voice came from somewhere left. The seeking has already chosen. The front door opened with a soft click. Footsteps entered, multiple sets, moving with predatory grace. 3 figures appeared in the pup's ethereal light, 2 women and a man, all moving like nothing human. Found her, the man said softly. The air. I'm a veterinarian. One woman laughed, not unkindly. You're both. Your mother hid you well, but the seeking never lies. She gestured to the pup. He found you across worlds, across a quarter-century of silence. Only royal blood calls to royal blood. My mother was a nurse. Your mother was a nurse, the woman agreed, after she fled our world pregnant. Your father, however, is Theron Nightwale, the Alpha King of the lunar throne. The pup howled again, and Lyra felt it in her bones, a pull toward something ancient. He sent his own soul pup to find you, the man said. A king's familiar, seeking his lost heir. Lyra's knees gave out, but strong arms caught her. The scent that surrounded her was pine and starlight, an impossible home. We need to go, the second woman said urgently. The shadow wolves know she's been found. Shadow wolves? The ones who killed your guardian family and forced your mother into hiding. The pup pressed against Lyra's heart, and she felt something wild stirring awake after a lifetime of sleep. I'm not going anywhere with you, Lyra said, though her voice shook. Your Grace, the man began. Don't. I'm standing here in yesterday's pajamas holding a magical puppy. I'm Celine Beta of the Northern Pack, the silver-haired woman said gently. This is Marcus and Vera. We're here to bring you home. This is my home. No, Alara said quietly, sinking into a chair. It's not. I promised your mother I'd never tell you, but you've never quite fit, have you? Animals trust you too easily. You dream of running through forests that don't exist here. Lyra's chest tightened. She'd never told anyone about the dreams. All these years ago, your mother appeared in my clinic, heavily pregnant and badly wounded. She was shifting, struggling between forms. She begged me to help her stay human long enough to give birth. She'd used the Moonbridge ancient magic that lets pregnant wolves cross worlds, a desperate one-time passage that nearly kills those who attempt it. She barely survived. The pup whimpered. Lyra realized she was holding him too tightly. Your mother made me swear to keep you hidden, Alara continued. She hoped you'd have a normal life first. A choice. The choice is gone now, Vera said, checking the window. I can smell them. 3 packs converging. 3? Marcus's voice sharpened. A lost princess with untapped power? She's worth an alliance. Through the windows, Lyra saw those dozens of wolves with glowing red eyes, moving in perfect synchronization. Blood pack, Marcus spat, using blood magic. We need to cross now, Vera urged, before they complete the circle. Cross where? Lyra felt it, then a pull in her chest. The pup's glow intensified, and suddenly, she could see it, a shimmer in the air, like heat waves. The veil, Celine said. Your pup is opening a door between worlds, but you have to choose to step through. A howl rose from outside, dozens of voices harmonizing. The windows began to crack. The front door exploded. A massive scarred wolf bounded through, speaking in a horrible rasp. The air belongs to the Shadow Crown. The pup snarled, an impossibly deep sound. Its silver markings blazed brighter, and Lyra felt power flooding through her. No, she heard herself say, her voice carrying something that made every wolf step back. I belong to no one. The scarred wolf laughed. Brave words from a pup who doesn't even know how to shift. He never finished. The pup leaped from Lyra's arms, and in midair, it grew. By the time it landed, it was a full-grown silver-white wolf. Impossible, the scarred wolf snarled. A familiar can't manifest without its master. Unless its master's daughter holds it, Celine said softly. The room erupted into chaos. Celine, Marcus, and Vera shifted instantly. Alara grabbed a shotgun from behind the desk, firing salt rounds. The adult wolf looked back at Lyra with silver eyes, then nodded toward the shimmering veil. Trust me, she heard in her mind. Come home. Another voice, deeper, echoed behind it. Come home, daughter, please. Her father, through his familiar, calling her home. The scarred wolf broke through, heading straight for her. Lyra saw death in those burning eyes and made her choice. She ran for the veil and leaped through just as teeth snapped where she'd been. The last thing she heard was Alara's voice. Find your mother, Lyra. She's alive. Then reality twisted, and Lyra fell into a world of eternal moonlight. Lyra hit ground cushioned by pine needles. Above her, 3 moons hung in a twilight sky, silver, gold, and deep red. Her mind refused to process it. Easy, Celine said, somehow fully clothed despite having been a wolf seconds ago. The first crossing is always rough. Lyra rolled sideways before being violently sick. Through watering eyes, she saw the silver-white wolf watching with concern. Where are we? The Shadowlands, Marcus answered. Border between the 3 kingdoms. Neutral territory. A howl echoed through the forest, long, mournful, answered by dozens. The silver wolf's ears pricked forward, and he gave an answering call that made Lyra's bones vibrate. He comes, Vera said softly. She felt him approaching like a storm front. The trees themselves seemed to bend from his path. Every instinct screamed conflicting messages. Run and mine. No, not mine. That was insane. He stepped from between the trees, and thought fled. The Alpha King looked barely 40, dressed in dark hunting leathers, with ink-black hair shot through with premature silver. His eyes were winter skies, and when they found hers, Lyra forgot to breathe. He stopped 20 feet away, as if held back by invisible barrier. You have your mother's eyes. I don't know what to say. Neither do I, he admitted. Vulnerability from someone radiating such power. I've rehearsed this moment for decades, and now. He stepped closer, then stopped. You're afraid of me. I'm afraid of everything right now. Something like pain flickered across his face. Your mother told you I was dead? Car accident. Creative. Though I suppose your father rules a parallel world of shapeshifters would have been harder to sell. Despite everything, Lyra almost smiled. Just a bit. The silver wolf padded over and transformed in a shimmer. Where the wolf had been, a young man stood, maybe 23, with the king's steel-gray gaze. Hello, sister, he said with an infectious grin. I'm Kane, your younger brother. Well, half-brother, born after mother fled with you. Brother? Lyra's mind spun. But the wolf was father's familiar moon whisper, Theron said. Sent to find you when everything else failed. Only a royal familiar could breach your mother's wards. You've been carrying my soul companion for 6 hours. Heat rose in Lyra's cheeks. Oh, Kane laughed. Moonwhisper says you give excellent belly rubs. Kane, the king warned, but with fondness. What? He's been sending father embarrassingly content feelings all morning. As if to emphasize the point, something howled in the distance wrong, like multiple voices forced through one throat. Void wolves, Marcus muttered. They're getting bolder. Theron's expression darkened. How many? Sounds like 6, maybe 7. She doesn't have control yet. If they sent her, I know. Theron turned to Lyra. I need you to trust me, just for the next few minutes. Something in his eyes, desperation mixed with fierce protectiveness, made her nod. Take my hand. Skin contact will mask your scent until we reach the palace wards. Their skin touched, and electricity shot up her arm. Power recognized power, and hers, untrained and wild, wanted to dance with his. Oh, this is what I am. Move, Theron commanded. They ran through twilight forest, his hand never leaving hers. Behind them, those horrible howls grew closer. Left, Kane shouted. Something massive crashed through where they'd been wolf-shaped but stretched wrong. Too many joints, too many teeth. Don't look at them, Theron pulled her forward. Direct eye contact lets them into your mind. They burst onto a mountainside. Below, carved into the mountain itself, was a palace of ice and stone, glowing with inner light. The Winter Palace, Kane said proudly. Welcome to your birthright. But more howls came from every direction. They were surrounded. They were hurting us, Vera breathed. Theron's hand tightened on Lyra's. When I give the word, run for the palace gates. Don't stop. What about, we'll hold them. The void wolves emerged like living shadows. Dozens, not 7. One spoke, its voice like grinding glass. The air will complete the void crown. Surrender her. Theron stepped forward, energy radiating from him in waves. Come and take her. The night exploded into violence, and Lyra ran. But as she fled, she heard something impossible, her mother's voice calling her name from the shadows. Mom? The palace gates slammed shut behind Lyra with thunderous finality. She spun, trying to see through crystalline barriers gone opaque. Somewhere beyond, her father, the father she'd just met, fought nightmares. This way, your grace. A servant appeared. The Queen Mother awaits. Queen Mother? Your grandmother, Kane said, materializing beside her, blood streaking his arm. She's intense. They hurried through corridors of living ice walls that breathed, floors that adjusted to her steps. The throne room doors, carved from frozen moonlight, opened without touch. On a throne of woven starlight sat a woman who looked barely older than Lyra herself. Grandmother? The woman smiled, her face shifting young to ancient to young again. Welcome home. You're late. I didn't know I was expected. You've been expected since before birth. Your mother stole you away from destiny. She was protecting me. She was running from the mate bond she forged with my son. Mate bond? Your mother was my son's chosen mate. The ceremony was completed, the bond sealed. Then she discovered she was pregnant and fled. That doesn't make sense. When one mate abandons the other, the bond becomes poison, the Queen Mother said coldly. Your father has perhaps a year left. The doors burst open. Theron stood there, bloodied but alive. His eyes found Lyra immediately. Mother, what are you telling her? The truth. That you're dying. Is it true? Lyra asked flatly. You're dying because of Mom? Yes and no. I searched for you because you're my daughter, not because I'm dying. The prophecy didn't hurt, the Queen Mother added. What prophecy? Before anyone could answer, frost spread across the floor, black at the edges, consuming light. A figure materialized. A woman, tall and elegant, with Lyra's features aged to perfection. She wore a crown of shadows. Hello, darling, Elena said with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. I've come to bring you home. Mom, what are you wearing? My true crown. Did they tell you their lies? How I'm the runaway mate. Elena, Theron's voice was raw. The wards fell the moment our daughter crossed. Her power called to mine. She focused on Lyra. They haven't told you why I ran. Stop, the Queen Mother commanded. Elena laughed coldly. I became what I needed to protect my daughter from your family's hunger for power. You became the Shadow Queen, Theron said quietly. Allied with our enemies. I allied with the only force strong enough to stand against the prophecy that says our daughter will either unite the 3 kingdoms or destroy them all. Silence fell like a hammer. The prophecy is why everyone wants me, Lyra said. Your power could tip the balance anywhere, Elena said. Will you let them use you, or choose your own path? Through crystalline windows, Lyra saw armies 3 different forces converging on the palace. All 3 kingdoms demand the air, Marcus said in horror. Come with me. Elena extended her hand. I can hide you, train you. Safe? Theron stepped forward. You're surrounded by void wolves. They obey me now. The doors exploded. A young man strode through, beautiful, with golden eyes and power that made everyone step back. Apologies for the dramatic entrance, he said with a predator's smile. Darius Goldmoon, Crown Prince of the Solar Court, you're betrothed. My what? You've been promised to me since before birth. Your parents signed in blood. He held up a glowing document. Blood contracts are unbreakable. Power erupted from Lyra raw, untamed. The palace walls cracked. The 3 moons pulsed in response. Lyra, Theron said urgently. Control. No. You all need to listen. But before she could speak, she felt it a 4th presence, ancient and amused. Finally, a voice said in her mind, The true heir awakens. Everyone was a puppet. The real player had just announced itself. The presence laughed in Lyra's mind like winter wind through broken glass. You're stronger than your parents, little heir, perhaps worthy of my gift. Get out of my head. Every piece of glass in the throne room shattered. The Void King, the Queen Mother whispered, showing fear for the first time. He's in her mind. Amusing insects, the voice mused. Fighting over a prize never theirs to claim. Images flooded Lyra's mind the world before the split, when one moon hung in the sky. She saw her own birth through ancient eyes, marked from first breath as catalyst. Stop, she gasped, falling to her knees. Multiple hands reached for her, but jerked back, burned by raw power. Only Moonwhisper remained, pressing against her side. You could have it all. The power to reshape worlds. Just accept what you truly are. What am I? The last true heir of the original pack. Lies, Elena hissed, but her voice shook. Tell her about the night you discovered your pregnancy. What you saw in the moon's reflection. Elena went pale. That was a dream. Tell her. Mom, what did you see? Elena's composure cracked. I saw you, grown, standing over the bodies of everyone I loved. Your fur was void, touched. Around your neck, a crown of bones. Silence. A vision, Theron said slowly. You ran because of a vision? The moon showed me what would happen if I stayed. Our daughter would become the weapon that ends everything. So you thought raising her human would change that? I thought giving her choice would. Enough. Lyra stood, Moonwhisper at her side. You're all fighting over who owns my future. You never asked what I want. What do you want? Cain asked quietly, genuine curiosity in his winter sky eyes. The truth. All of it. Fine, Darius said unexpectedly, pulling out an ancient scroll. The original prophecy, written in the first Alpha's blood. The words glowed. When 3 moons dance and shadows call, the lost heir shall rise or all shall fall. Born of light and claimed by dark, she bears the original mark. 3 paths before her, each with price. Love's surrender, power's vice, or lonesome road of sacrifice. Clear as mud, Lyra said. You'll either unite our fractured world or destroy it, the Queen Mother said. Everyone wants to ensure I choose their version, Lyra understood. Not me, but what I represent. Smart girl. They see you as a tool. I see you as force of nature. The temperature plummeted. Black ice formed everywhere. In the room's center, shadows coalesced into a figure beautiful, terrible, and constantly shifting. Impossible, the Queen Mother breathed. The seals, weakened when my true heir awakened. Ancient royal magic has its privileges. The Void King looked at Lyra with eyes holding dead stars. Hello, granddaughter. Everyone recoiled. That's not possible, Elena whispered. My mother was human. Your mother was my daughter, hiding in human form, making you half void touched. And your daughter, the perfect bridge between all worlds. Lyra felt the truth in her bones, the wrongness she'd always sensed, the power that matched neither parent. You're lying, she said, voice shaking. Am I? The Void King held out his hand. Lyra's power responded without permission, reaching toward him like recognition. Whatever you are, you're my daughter. Theron started. She's everyone's daughter. The Void King laughed. And no one's. She owes loyalty to none. I offer freedom. No prophecies. No arranged marriages. Just pure power. At what cost? The old world dies. A new one is born. You decide its shape. 24 hours to decide. Accept your birthright as void heir, or watch everyone tear each other apart trying to claim you. He began fading. Oh, and your friend the veterinarian? The shadow wolves found her. If you want her alive, you know where to find me. He vanished. Alara, Lyra breathed. Everyone's faces showed the truth. They'd let Alara die rather than lose Lyra to the Void King. I have to save her. It's a trap, everyone said. I don't care. She headed for the door. Theron caught her arm. Let me help. You've had all these years to help. Where were you when I cried myself to sleep, wondering why my father didn't want me? I searched. Not hard enough. She pulled free. You're not a weapon, Cain said quietly. You're my sister. Lyra looked at him, this brother she'd never known, and her resolve wavered. Then Alara's scream echoed from everywhere. I'm going. Try to stop me, and I'll show you exactly what kind of weapon I can be. Power crackled around her, not light, not shadow, but something between. She was done being everyone's pawn. Lyra made it 3 steps before her body betrayed her. The void-touched power turned inward. She felt bones crack and reform, skin burning with internal fire. She screamed, but what emerged was a howl. "She's shifting," Cain shouted. "Without training." "The void blood," the Queen Mother said urgently. "It's forcing the change. Lyra, fight it. Stay human." Elena dropped beside her daughter. But Lyra was beyond hearing. She could smell emotions, hear heartbeats from armies outside. "Let go," the Void King whispered. "Stop fighting what you are." "No," another voice countered. Moon whisper, somehow in her mind. "Choose your form. Don't let it choose you." Through agony, Lyra felt warm presence like a lighthouse. She reached for it and could suddenly see through Moon Whisper's eyes. Her own body writhed, caught between forms. "Tonight is the blood moon convergence," Theron said suddenly. "The sacred grove. That's where the Void King wants her," Elena protested. "It's also where the 3 moons align," the Queen Mother said. "Their light might stabilize her. Or complete her void conversion," Darius added. "But we're out of options." Another scream from Alara echoed closer. Lyra's transformation accelerated. Fur sprouted silver dark like starlight through smoke. The palace floor cracked, void energy seeping through. "We move now," Theron decided. "Elena, can you shadow walk us? All of us? It'll drain me." "Do it." Decades of hurt and longing passed between them in one look. Elena nodded. "Link hands. Whatever you see in the shadow realm, don't let go." They circled Lyra's shifting form. Shadows rose, wrapping them in darkness. The world tilted. Lyra saw the shadow realm's truth. Ancient things lived here, banished from light. They whispered her name, reached with impossible appendages. "Come, Voidborn. You belong in the spaces between." But Moonwhisper guided her through, a silver light in darkness. They erupted into moonlight. The 3 moons hung enormous in the sacred grove, where the first wolf had transformed. But they weren't alone. 3 armies surrounded the grove. At their head stood 3 rulers. "The families gather for the claiming," the Solar King said. "There will be no claiming," Theron said. "She chooses her own path. She's beyond choosing. The void has claimed her." Indeed, Lyra was becoming something impossible, a wolf made of void stuff, reality bending around her. Walking through the armies came the Void King, carrying broken, bleeding Alara. "A trade," he said. "Let her become what she's meant to be, and this one lives." "Lyra, no!" Alara gasped. The Void King tightened his grip. Alara screamed. Inside shifting flesh, Lyra felt something snap. Her consciousness focused into laser clarity. "Enough." The word rippled out in 3 voices. The ground cracked. Trees bent. Moons pulsed. She rose, form shifting but stable, existing in all states simultaneously. "Release her." The Void King stepped back, eyes widening. Alara fell, caught by Cain. "You're further along than expected," the Void King murmured. Lyra turned to the assembled armies. They collectively stepped back. "You all want me to choose, but you're asking the wrong question." "What's the right question?" Darius asked. "Why are there 3 moons, 3 kingdoms? Why is everything divided?" Understanding dawned in the Queen Mother's eyes. The original pack didn't split naturally. No, it was broken. Deliberately. She turned to the Void King. "You're not the cause. You're another symptom." For the first time, the Void King looked uncertain. "You're not ready for that truth." The ground beneath them cracked. Not from Lyra's power, but from something beneath. The earth split wider. Ancient magic, older than memory, stirring to life. The sacred grove's trees began bleeding silver sap. From the depths rose something that made even the Void King kneel. "The First Mother," everyone whispered. The true test wasn't choosing between worlds. It was facing the one who had broken them apart in the first place. The First Mother rose like a mountain being born, not wolf or human, but something before division had meaning. "Finally ready to hear why I broke the world." Her voice was wind and time and ending. "You admit it," the Void King said, still kneeling. "To save it, you were becoming monsters. Worse than monsters, gods. And gods don't love. They only consume." She showed them visions, the original pack, hunting humans for sport, building empires on blood and domination. "I gave you weakness. In that weakness, you found humanity. The division saved you from yourselves. But the prophecy, Darius protested. I planted it, every word calculated for this moment, when you'd unite not as conquerors, but equals. Lyra felt her shifting form stabilizing into something new. Why does transformation hurt so much? You're not transforming. You're remembering the original form before the split, before fear made us small. Why reveal this now? Cain asked. The First Mother's expression darkened. Because something else comes. The devourers' beings that consume realities, drawn to conflict and division. Your wars have been bleeding into the cosmos, attracting them. The sky cracked, showing glimpses of hungry things beyond shapes that hurt to perceive, hunger given form. How long? Theron asked. Hours, maybe less. Unless... Everyone looked at Lyra. Unless I become the bridge, she said. The living connection between all worlds. You'd exist in all simultaneously. Human, wolf, void, and something more. You'd be more than individual. You'd be the collective soul of our people. That's not living, Theron protested. It's what I choose, Lyra said. But not alone. I need anchors. She looked at each of them. A brother's love, parents' connection, broken but healing. A friend's trust, and maybe not knowing everything is human enough to keep me grounded. The devourers pushed through reality's cracks, vast and incomprehensible. Choose now, the First Mother urged. Moonwhisper patted over, licking her. Hand. Pack is pack. Whatever you become, we remain. Together then. Lyra let go. The transformation wasn't painful, it was like breathing for the first time. Like coming home. She became the space between, her consciousness touching every wolf, every human, every void-touched creature. She rose spiritually and faced the devourers. You're not monsters. Your antibody's reality's immune system, drawn to our wound. They paused, confused by being recognized. Our division is a wound in reality itself. We choose healing. Through her, everyone felt each other's fears and hopes. The three moons spiraled closer, their lights merging, the sky healing where they touched. But she was dissipating, spreading too thin across too many minds. No! Theron roared. His broken mate bond blazed to life, not reaching for Elena, but anchoring his daughter to existence. Elena joined him, their bond finding new purpose. Cain and Moonwhisper offered their familiar bond as tether. Darius offered the Solar Kingdom's fire passion to keep her human heart beating. Even the Void King stepped forward, offering the space between breaths where choice lived. Elara whispered, Come home, Lyra. You're still the girl who saved a lost pup. It counted for everything. Lyra pulled herself together, not fully anything, but completely herself. The three moons merged into one, containing all three lights swirled together like marble. The devourers withdrew. The wound heals. The infection clears. We are no longer needed. As they faded, they left a warning. Other worlds watch. Show them unity is possible. The sky sealed. Across the kingdoms, the change was instant. Wolves found they could hold human form without pain. Humans discovered dormant gifts awakening. The void between worlds became a bridge, not a barrier. What happens now? Elena asked, exhausted, leaning against Theron. Now you live with unity's consequences, the First Mother said, already fading back into Earth. Different peoples, different traditions, but one pack. You have a living bridge between you all. I'm not ruling anyone, Lyra said quickly. The army stood awkwardly, unsure what to do now that the reason for conflict had vanished. Coffee? Lyra suggested. I know a great place in the human world. All worlds still exist, just connected now. Open doors instead of locked gates. As they walked from the sacred grove, the merged moon pulsed with three lights. The story of learning to live as one was just beginning. And Lyra lost Princess, bridge between worlds. But most importantly, herself wouldn't have it any other way.